Hi, this is Willem here from Bunny Pants Graphic and Web Design Studio. Bunny Pants specializes in graphic and web design, but also build LMS or learning e-learning systems for schools, for organizations, for universities, or anybody that needs to do online training or need a system to do it. Also for training companies that do training. LMS systems, we roll out 100% LMS and not like Google classes that aren't 100% LMS. And we will recommend using it, if you don't use it as a full LMS, at least using it as an assisted learning type of tool for e-learning. So at Bunny Pants we build two types of LMS systems. One is our advanced system, the other one is our basic system. Our basic system is not very basic, it's actually a good system, but it has certain limitations, and it's good maybe for companies that want to do basic training online and that are not regulated by other learning institutes. The one I want to actually show you guys in this video is our advanced system. What makes our advanced system specialized is that it has 4 apps it actually can run on. So it's also 100% mobile ready, so it will run on a mobile phone as well, but you can install an Android app for it, also Apple iPhone app, and it can run on a Windows app as well. So if you have a Windows laptop, you can install the app for the laptop, and then for your Mac netbook you can also install the app. The second thing is that the system is very regulated. It has certain rules it applies to, and it can be monitored by third parties. In other words, we can monitor when a student logs in, can see their activity and pull reports and stuff like that. So first in this video I'd like to talk about some of the technical stuff, because if you understand the technical jargon, it's much easier to understand why you need maybe the advanced system versus the basic system. The advanced system can be run in two different ways. The one way is you can set it up on your own website domain. So let's say you have a domain called joburgselfschool.co.za. We can set up the LMS on that domain, and all your school kids or whatever type of company you are can actually access the LMS system via your domain. The only problem here is, and especially in these COVID times, so Vodacom and MTN and Telkom has brought out, also Cell C has brought out a thing we call zero rating. So zero rating means that, in other words, your students can access your LMS system and not pay for the data they use on their phones or on their computers. Streaming information or downloading information, accessing the e-learning. So zero data rating has been can be applied to by the Department of Health type of training, Department of Basic Education, Department of Higher Education and Training as well. So you won't be able to get zero data for any other type of training. It's just for maybe more for schools and universities. But to get zero rating or to apply for it and hopefully get the rating, you will need a static IP address, and you also will need a server that's hosted locally in South Africa, and your server needs to be secure. So in other words, if your website, your school website is running on a shared server, you need to get a virtual private server with its own IP address, and it needs to be secure, and it needs to be in South Africa. So if your domain's not on that type of server, you're going to have to apply to get a server like that. And this means you're going to pay at least 850 Rand up to 2,000 Rand a month for your server hosting. Not all schools and companies can afford to pay more than 100,000 Rand and one shot to get the LMS up and running. Yes, that's what it will cost. So between 100,000 Rand, and it can cost up to 300,000 Rand depending on what your needs are and how big your school is. The other solution, what we've done is we've created 2 websites that we're applying for zero rating, and we can take your LMS and we can actually piggyback it on this website. So in other words, you don't have to do that application for zero rating yourself. It's the first nice thing about it. The second thing is you don't have to pay the high hosting fee. And the third thing is we won't have to pay 100,000 Rand to get the system up and running. You'll pay a deposit to get your system rolled out onto this domain, and I'll show you guys just how it looks. And then you're going to have to pay a monthly fee to rent the system from us. And the monthly fee will be based on how big the school is, organization, how many teachers will use it, and also the students of the organization. So that smaller schools don't have to pay so much more than large schools that can maybe do it. So let me just show you, like a company like IFL, if I click on them, IFL is the Institute for Inspired Learning. They are running their LMS system on their own domain like this. Same with TMS Africa, they're also running on their own server, and they've got their own static IP. So these two companies, this one won't be able to apply for 0 rating because they don't fall into the education sector, where IFL can because they're a university. So the other solution we've got for schools, especially because they need to get up and running quick, so we've built a LMS system out of the box, which we can deploy very quickly for schools. The brand it will run under, we call e-classes. In Afrikaans, we've got the e-klasse.co.za. In English, it's e-classes.co.za. E-classes is the sub-brand owned by Bunnypants, and it's developed for assisted learning mind, but it can be a full LMS system. You can do 100% online learning with the system. E-classes was created for schools, for people that would like to offer extra classes like tutors online, and will have, let's say, 20 or 30 or 40 students, or maybe students even in Cape Town if they're in Johannesburg. So it's for teachers that want to do extra classes online. And it's also been created for organizations that need to quickly get the LMS up and going, and will be able to pay the higher monthly fee but the lower initial cost. Let me show you an example of this. We've got Word of Life Private Christian School. It's based in Vereeniging. Word of Life's got e-class type system. So at the moment, e-learning is wol.eclasses.co.za, WL Word of Life. Got another client with a Val High School built in Farley's eklasse.co.za. So what this client is doing, they're actually piggybacking on our IP address and our server, which made it much faster for us to roll out the system. And we are also still just waiting for our 0 rating application to go through. But if we get the 0 rating application, all the companies that run their LMSs from our domain will get a 0 rating as well. In the next video, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you guys how the app looks and the desktop version of the LMS looks. We're going to log in, we're going to have a look from a student side, and I'll also show you in another video how it looks from the teacher side, and also all the features that are available in the system. And it will maybe change your mind about how powerful and awesome online learning can actually be. Can be quite a good solution for schools, not over COVID-19 situation, but an overall when kids are booked off sick or teachers can't come to school, or something like COVID-19 happens again, then this will be an excellent solution, especially if schools are going to use it as an assisted learning portal. In other words, a teacher will use this tool every day to teach and do their normal teaching. They're going to have to teach 1 year the whole curriculum, and next year the curriculum is going to be there. And that's what's nice about it. Okay, so I'm going to stop talking now, and I'm going to show you in the next video how we can log into the LMS itself.